All right, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, wherever you happen to be located. Today is Tuesday, October 11th, 2011. Tuesday, October 11th, 2011. We're going to go over. This is Michael from CFRN. We're going to go over the morning's trades, recap the morning's activity, and we'll go over the option activity that we had as well. All right. Let's just. I want to take a look to see. People are still popping in here right now, but for right now, we'll start out with the morning's activity. Okay. We didn't have any trades on the ES. All right. As a matter of fact, there just haven't been any trades that set up. If we go by what one of the partners had suggested for a set of rules, he had suggested this set of rules last week. There would have been about 3 or 4 trades with his setup, and that may be posted out on the website. May not be at some point relatively soon here. But there would have been a couple of setups with his information. One would have been right over here. Another one would have been just a second ago. You would have been shorting here. You would have been long over here. Only the first one though. But we won't get into that. I'll just go back and I'm just going to quickly jump around over here though because we didn't take any ES trades. All right, there was no opportunity in here to take any trades. We didn't have any bubble all the way up to here. And then by the time we got the bubble, by the time we got the bubble, we were trading right into a weekly trading zone, which is right up above us right here. Then we got another bubble, and we were on top of it all, but we couldn't trade because we had a double top right there. All right. Once we got above that and we pulled back, we had a bubble right here. We couldn't trade here because we had a lower high right there. Okay, we had a lower high right there. We pulled back down inside the box. Then it was going short right into the same zone that we were talking about. Over here, had we had a bubble right here, this would have been a long opportunity, but we did not have it. Okay, that was it on the ES. Now on the 10,000 tick, we had the same problem. Not the 10,000 tick, but the 10,000 contract. We had the same problem basically, in that we've been in and around the zone all morning. Okay, so we couldn't take any trades over there either. The best one that we probably could have taken. We had a couple of opportunities, but they were either going right into the weekly trading zone or they were going into support and or resistance, like this here and like this over here. They still worked out, but that's what they were doing. We did take one YM trade this morning. It was a loss for -7 ticks on the YM. All right. Now I'll show you the YM. There were a couple of trades on the YM that set up that we missed. During the morning session, there was actually one that we missed and one that set up that we missed during the break. Okay, the break set up right here for a good 20 ticks, and this one set up over here that we missed for a good 20 ticks. The one that we did take, however, was back here just a little further. There it is. Oops. All right, you see we had a bearish cross right here. Oops. There we go. We had a bearish cross right here, and price pulled back up and went right through the BBC. So that was our one single trade on the YM this morning. All right. Unfortunately, that's all we had. The market's been really, really slow. Really slow. The Dow right now is just about break even. It's up 7 points. Comp's up a little bit more. It's just been a really, really slow morning. All right. Now, I'm going to go into the options a little bit here. And the partners, Sunday night, I believe, at about 3 a.m., I had sent out a note to all the partners. Oh, we just lost our connection there. Hopefully it's going to come back here quickly. Good. Sunday night at about 3 a.m., we had sent out a note to all of our partners that Friday afternoon's activity, where we were thinking we might get an opportunity to buy some puts, never confirmed, but we did have a confirmation of the calls. All right, so we wanted to buy calls, and what we had suggested was right here, the 1175 calls. Yesterday morning, and it was Sunday night at about 3 a.m. I think I sent out the alert for that, and um, and the calls were priced then at about 24 by 25. All right, you can see right now they're 34 by 34.75 right now. They've been higher than that. They had been a little bit higher than that. And I expect they'll get a little bit higher than that. I followed it up with some targets, suggesting that if we got up to 1185, that we may hang around 1185 for a little while. If we get rejected strongly from 1185, then you want to get out of the calls. We did get up to 1185, and I said if we get through 1185, we should get up to 1215. That would be the next area. We haven't gotten up that high yet. We did get through 1185, but we really did have some trouble there. You can see obviously right now we're at 1192 half, but the next level up above should be up at 1215, up in that area, and above that I believe is all the way up at 1225. So these calls that we suggested, they had about a 40% gain in a day, and if you hold on to them a little longer, I think if the market continues to go up to where I think it's going to go up to, then you could see better than that 50, 60, 70% gain on it possibly. Obviously, past performance is no indication of future performance, but that is where I see it going if the market continues to go up. All right, if it starts to drop down and it gets down below 1185, you'll still have some value in your calls. This morning it was down below 1185 for a little while, and there was still up 20% when it was down there. So there's that's where that stands. I'm going to, moving forward here, as the option product that we have right now proves itself out to everyone, and everyone starts to see more and more gains with this thing. I'm not going to tell you guys live in here. Only the partners are going to get the information. Only the active partners will get the information in a timely manner. The rest of you guys will get the information after the fact. The active partners, everybody knows when I send out these emails, and everybody gets them when I send them out, hopefully. If you're an active partner and you did not get the email, let me know. All right. But we can, we can keep building on this product, I think. This is just the ES right now. This is just the ES, but we can build on this, and there are other ways to trade this. These are futures options, but you could trade it with ETFs, you could trade it with index options. There's a bunch of different ways to handle this. So in the absence of activity here on the futures today, we did have some activity here in the options. All right. Now that said, I think I'm going to wrap up here because there's just not that much to talk about. Does anybody have any questions about the options? Hang on, I don't have my question. No, I don't see any questions at all up there. If you're a partner and you're in here but you're not an active partner, meaning you don't get into the morning sessions and you don't get to weekly trading zones and stuff like that, and you want these option calls in a timely manner, then you need to become an active partner. Okay? Thanks, Bert. All right. You guys want me to go over the last 4 or 5 option calls? The first one made better than 70%. The second one made better than 175. The third one made better than 70. The fourth one made better than 70, and this is the 5th one, I think, right here. And this one is up over 40 so far. I think that's the case. Or this may be the 4th one. Either way, they all did pretty well so far. All right. That said, I'm gonna wrap it up. If anybody has any questions or wants any more information about the option product and or the futures stuff that we do, send an email to tech. That's TECH at CFRN.net. Okay, you can email me there at any time, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Or you can call 1-866-928-3310. And they will be able to give you some information. Or if you just want to take our free trial and you haven't taken the free trial, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. APPLY. All right. that's it for now. I'm going to wrap up this morning session recap.